Do you love spy books, movies, and TV? Then the Spybrary podcast is for you. Since 2017, host Shane Whaley and Spybrary field agents around the world dispatch reviews and interviews with authors, historians, and fellow spy fans. We discuss everything from John le Carré, Len Dayton, Paul Viddich, Graham Greene, Mick Herron, Charles Cumming, Ben McIntyre, and many more. Spybrary is available on all good podcast apps and at spybrary.com.
Hello and welcome to episode 243 of Spybrary. I'm your host, Shane Whaley, and today I'm excited to serve you a treat, an extra special treat here on Spybrary. Now, a few months ago, longtime friend of the show and author himself, Payne Harrison, got in touch to say that he had an opportunity to go to the International Spy Museum in DC and file a video briefing of the Bond in Motion exhibition. For those of you who don't know, James Bond in Motion is a celebration of 6 decades of 007 vehicles. The exhibition features 17 iconic pieces from the Eon Productions archive and the Ian Fleming Foundation. Props, scale models, and clips from the films are also on show alongside cars, motorcycles, submarines, and more from the Q Branch Garage. Now, Bond in Motion is on display at the Spy Museum until April of next year, so we've all got time to go visit. I urge everyone, if you can, to visit the Spy Museum and Bond in Motion, cherry on the top, right? We've recorded this. We've submitted it, I should say, on YouTube, so you can go and watch the video review. You can find the link at spybrary.com/243 or just search Spybrary in YouTube. What you're going to hear on the podcast is for those of you who like me, who enjoy going out for long walks or enjoy listening to podcasts when I'm doing the dishes, the chores, cooking, etc. Here is the audio version, but please do go check out the video version of Payne's visit. And a massive thank you to Payne Harrison. I can't tell you how much work goes into video, especially on location video recording. Much more difficult than podcasting. So please do go check out the video. We would love it if you could hit a like. I know you got these annoying people who say that on YouTube, but every like is a thank you to Payne, a thank you to the Spy Museum, and it also shows YouTube there's demand for this content. So they will help us in our mission of helping other people who are out there in the cold, who are yet to discover Spybrary. And of course, we want to help all readers discover or rediscover spy classics or modern spy writing that's available today. So without further ado, let's hand over to Payne Harrison. Links for today's show, spybrary.com/243.
It's a brush pass, quick and simple.
Hi, this is Payne Harrison, coming to you directly from the Bond in Motion exhibit at the incredible Spy Museum located in Washington, D.C., where you can see an assembly of Bond cars and other artifacts that are quite simply mind-boggling. And to tell us a little bit about this exhibit, we have with us Amanda Ohlke, who is Director of Adult Education at the Spy Museum, and is here to tell us a little bit about it. Amanda, on behalf of the Spybrary community, I want to thank you for taking the time to visit with us today and tell us about some of the extraordinary artifacts you have here.
Well, it's just a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to talk about the Spy Museum and James Bond and this incredible exhibition, Bond in Motion.
I'm sure. To begin, looking at the scale of what you've pulled together here, it's truly mind-boggling. And can you give us a little overview of how you pulled this together? It must have been a Herculean effort.
This was a real Herculean effort on behalf of our exhibitions team. Catherine Kane, our VP of exhibitions, came up with a very short timeline to put this show together. And then Dan Trita, our director of exhibitions, and his incredible team masterminded the delivery of these incredible artifacts into our temporary exhibition space. And we also got to bring some things out of our own vault and team up with some other collections to really present a unique version of Bond in motion.
Mm-hmm. And how, from the initial idea to where we are today, how long did that take?
Truly a matter of months. It really, putting this together, working with Bond in Motion is an exhibition that exists and has been at several different institutions, but we always want to put the spy spin on it. So we wanted to work with other collectors, the Ian Fleming Foundation, working with Eon Productions, who we've worked with before, and also supplementing with our own collection, and then with the backing of DHL to help us get the cars here. When the rubber hit the road, when we really came down to the wire, it was a matter of days of getting these vehicles and other objects into the museum.
Right. And we are, we're on the third floor here?
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't think these fit in the elevator. How did you
A few things actually came up in our freight elevator, but what was so crazy was we had, V-Day, Vehicle Delivery Day. When they had to come in, they were being trucked in large, container vehicles. And right here, I don't know how high the camera goes, but you can see kind of a door back there. That is a truck door that opens out the side of the building, 3 floors up. And our floors are huge. Our floors are double floors. You can see we have high ceilings.
Right.
So the large vehicles, such as these hero cars, they had to be craned in through those doors, that opening. And guess what? We had 2 days to do it. We had an intense deadline. We had to start at dawn on a Monday. Guess what? Wind, insane wind. We actually started with the boats. We have a boat ready to go. It's like, no, it's going to be like a wrecking ball, using an incredible Bond vehicle is going to get swung, into the side of the building. So we had to halt. We had to switch gears. Bravo to Dan Trito, switching gears, bringing the smaller things up in the freight elevator on the Monday. And then Tuesday, thank you, it was still, and in came the cars faster than we had imagined. And then it was all the arrangement, the positioning, getting them in here, but securing them so that they didn't roll. It was like, everyone, be careful. These cars are still on the move.
Right. Can you just give us a little thumbnail on some of the key exhibits?
Yes. Well, I am so delighted to have this Aston Martin Vanquish, which of course is nicknamed the Vanish, because this is the car that seemed to disappear.
Oh, yes.
Yes, yes.
In the Q Lab, right.
Yes, exactly. Right. And so Pierce Brosnan is the Bond from this film, and he has this wonderful tricked out Aston Martin. And you can see it in action if you've got a wide shot. This is this icy setting, and there's an incredible chase scene with this green Jag driven by the villain Zhao. And it's this epic scene where the Vanquish is vanishing and Zhao is trying to track James Bond. And what's so exciting for me is we had the green Jag on display before. We had a previous exhibition about Bond villains in our former location. We had the Jag. This is the first time that we have had reunited. The Jag is right over there.
Okay.
And so having these two together makes my nerdy little Bond heart grow so large.
Now you have one Aston Martin here that is pretty beat up, which we're showing our viewers. Tell us a little bit about this one.
Yes. Oh my gosh. This poor car is from Quantum of Solace. If you've watched that introductory chase scene, it is so thrilling. It is so intense. And this car I really love because you can see these stunts happen, these things happen, these cars are going through, incredible challenges. And then what they have to do is to keep, because obviously the cars are probably some of the stunts, even though they continue on, some of the cars are probably rendered undrivable. So they have cars that are painted to match for continuity purposes. So I can't remember if there were 10 or 14. I don't know why 14's popping into my head. And, you know, maybe it's more like 8 cars that are painted like this, dinged up like this one, so that they actually will look seamless. And what's so fun about this is for the opening of Quantum of Solace, one of the key people we work with in the Eon archives, Meg Simmons, was telling me that they had the dinged up Quantum of Solace Aston Martin on one side at the grand opening in London, the premiere in London. On the other side, they had a pristine Aston Martin. Everybody wants to stand with this one. Everyone wants to be, and that's what we've found on our social media, is people love this because it makes it so real. I mean, look at that. Look at the bullet, you know, it shows, it's terrifying. It makes it more real.
That scene is absolutely epic. I mean, it's one of the most extraordinary things I've ever seen on film.
Like so many things in the Bond universe.
Oh, yeah.
Those intro scenes.
Well, speaking of off the charts, not only do you have the cars here and other vehicles like the paraglider, and
which we're very proud of, because the paraglider is from our own collection.
And also boats, but you also have a submarine here. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, the submarine from For Your Eyes Only. That's a Roger Moore James Bond, and it's seeking something deep under the sea, and it's quite realistic looking, and you know, puts you in mind of the real subs at the time. But of course, they shot most of that film, you know, above the water with simulations later. But it's so fun to be near it and to look in. And what I get a kick out of is you can look in and see all the gears and all the theming of these, you know, pieces of equipment. We also have a teeny tiny bathosub that Blofeld had a difficult time with, which, you know, it's got its wonderful Spectre logo on the nose. And that one's one of my favorites.
Okay. So now on the permanent display,
yes,
you have one of the 1964 iconic Aston Martin DB5s, as was used in the Goldfinger movie. Yeah. And how did y'all manage to reel that one in?
Well, that is on a long-term loan. It is one of our favorite and most iconic artifacts on display. As we say, you know, we're so cool, James Bond parks his car in our lobby, you know, but this car is just that Aston Martin that everybody dreams of, 1964, silver birch, and just so gorgeous to see. And what is so fun is this one has been tricked out with some of the gags that were used in the film. So about every 20 minutes, if you're visiting our lobby, you can see the car go through its gags. We have a rotating license plate, 3 different license plates. The one that's so not covert is JB007. I mean, how do you go undercover with something like that? Tire shredders that spin around and, you know, in case the pursuing car gets too close. A rear windshield protector that comes up so that you don't get bullet holes like the Aston Martin over here. So very thrilling is the final piece of that are these 2 guns that come out. And
well, Amanda, we could probably spend a couple of days here getting down in the weeds on this. So what I would suggest is that you come to the Spy Museum and metaphorically kick the tires. They don't let you touch them here. But
you can jump on the Ski-Doo, though, for a photograph.
Okay. That might happen.
Yeah.
But on behalf of the Spybrary community, we want to thank you for bringing us in for this sneak peek. It's been absolutely incredible. Again, it's the Spy Museum, Washington, D.C., Bond in Motion exhibit. How long will this be on display?
This will be on display until at least April of 2025.
Okay, well, you have a pretty good runway there, so don't miss this one.
Can you pull off a brush pass? Send in your review to shane@spybrary.com.
Thanks for listening to the Spybrary podcast. You don't have to wait for the next episode. Join the conversation happening now at facebook.com/Spybrary and on Twitter @Spybrary.